and I've talked about this before, but it was years ago. The only important thing that happened is I and a bunch of people were captured. We were strapped to tables in a large medical center, and they were starting to dissect the people in line.
All right, you primitive bandits. We're prepared to kick butt and take names.
Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Hokey smokes. It should be cooler today. The weather forecasting says it should be like mid-60s, so I got the light on here. I got my little light on down there. For now. My window fan isn't on. For now. As time goes on, you know, like immediately after I finish recording, I'm going to turn the lights off just to keep it cool. Ooh. Did a pretty good job of keeping it cool yesterday by having all the lights off and having the fans going full blast. So it kept it cool-ish, and that's a good thing. Because hokey smokes, it was warm yesterday. And of course, front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that too would be very cool. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people on this newly updated list that I finally was able to break through my my executive dysfunction and get it actually updated. So thank you, each and every one of these beautiful and awesome people. If you'd like to help me out and become a patron, there are links in the video description. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there are links to a PayPal. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, there are links to an Amazon wishlist link as well with stuff like cat food on it. So thumbs up. Yay! So front loading of videos over. Goodness gracious. Yeah, it's been super, super hot, and I gotta call up my housemates because I've been taking care of their guinea pig. Guinea pig's almost completely out of hay. I fed the guinea pig the last of the lettuce that they had left for the guinea pig. You know, piggy needs stuff, and I don't have the money to buy the stuff for their piggy. So, it's a good piggy. It's an older senior piggy. Doesn't have much time left, I say, in my non-professional judgment, but it doesn't deserve to suffer, so gotta let them know so we can get some more lettuce and hay for the piggy. Yay on that. Past that, I mean, still waiting, haven't heard a thing from anybody on anything. I don't know what's going on with the state of the bath that they're going to hopefully replace. I don't know the state of anything. We're just waiting. Nobody's communicating. So, joy. Still though, life is life. Still trying to just survive. I did have some falling asleep issues yesterday because of, even though there was no, well, lesser heat, with it darker, I still had a small bout of falling asleep. Very small, wasn't big, was able to pick up very quickly afterward. Thank goodness. So I haven't taken any of my ADHD meds or any some such today. Hopefully things are going to work out well. There are some other things that I managed to do. Can't remember what they were. They were minor, but they were like, yay, I managed to get this thing done, and it felt kind of nice. So at least I wanted to mention that I have had that feeling of being able to do things, even if they're only very tiny things. So a good thing. Past that, because it was so hot and I was trying so desperately not to get warm, and of course up here it got hot anyway because this is the second floor of a house. Heat rises. Downstairs it was very cool, and while it stayed cooler than normal because of fans and lights off, it was still warmer. So and then going walkies, it was like 7:30 before I finally left, and it didn't matter. It was just still hot. Ugh. And as much as heat can feel nice, I just do not function well in heat at all. My brain doesn't function, my mind doesn't function, my body doesn't function well. There's a little tiny bug that had flown in through the windows that went by on the wall back there. I just thought I'd mention that. So, yay. Still though, I am existing, and that is good. I'm trying to get the stuff done that I need to get done. Hopefully you are doing well on that. Definitely a thumbs up. I was contacted by the hospital, or I called the hospital, I can't remember which one. I said, I need to apply for charity care for my last visit, and they've said, oh, okay, here. And then they're sending me the application. Haven't gotten it yet, so hopefully soon. At least things are happening on a positive fashion. Yay! So today I'm going to try and get some stuff done. I'm going to work on things. I'm going to work on phone calls. I'm going to get as much done as I can. Being able to push through my executive dysfunction at all is a good thing. Indeed. Hokey smokes. Oh. Past that, I'm a little bit out of breath. I've been very wheezy. And I tanked up on THC before I started, and so of course I had a big coughing fit. And now I'm finding it a little harder to catch my breath because when I cough, well, if your bronchioles are normal like this, after I cough a bit, they constrict a bit. Even though cannabis will dilate all of your bronchioles, coughing makes mine constrict unless I can cough out fully, at which point then they'll open up. But you can even hear me now, so I'm going to be coughing here again real soon. As in right now. Ah, it's not going to shake loose. Ugh. So, yay. Still, life is life. Existence is fun. And I slept last night, and I slept moderately well. Of course, as stated, I don't move when I sleep, so I could tell when I woke up that it was really close for me to get up for the day. Because when I did wake up, oh, my right side hurt, especially my hip where I was laying on it. 5 hours of being in one position and not moving. It sucks. Yeah, to not move when you're sleeping. Because sit in a chair and don't move for just 15 minutes. That doesn't feel good. And I mean, don't move. Don't move your arms. Don't move your hands. Wherever your fingers happen to be, just sit there. If your hand is resting on top of your fingers, let them sit there. After 15 minutes, that's going to hurt. Now imagine falling asleep like that and not moving, and then 4 hours later you wake up. Now, I will move after I wake up, so if something does in fact hurt, like my hand is being smashed underneath, my fingers are smashed like that while I'm sleeping, I will wake up, fix my hand, and then try to go back to sleep. Normally, you start to come to awareness, you move, and then you sink back down. I don't do that, and I don't know why. It might be related to, that's the word that I was thinking of, it might be related to the fact that I find it difficult to remember my dreams anymore, because I stopped moving when I stopped remembering my dreams. I can remember like one every couple years, and by one I mean like snippets, just sheer seconds. Oh, which makes me sad, because I used to have, they were goofy, but some of the goofy dreams had stuff that were not as goofy in them. I mean, there was still goofy stuff. The one part of one dream that I remember that I'm not going to give you the lead up because dreams are boring. The only important part of it, and I've talked about this before, but it was years ago. The only important thing that happened is I and a bunch of people were captured. We were strapped to tables in a large medical center, and they were starting to dissect the people in line. I was in the middle of the group, and so it was going to be a while before they would get to me. And in dreams, you're not just going to have anything just terrible happen, especially if it's not a nightmare. But in the dream, there was no rescue. No one came to help us. And I realized this when they worked their way all the way through to just right next to me. And I realized that nobody was going to come in and save us. We were all going to die. We were all going to be dissected. We were all going to die no one was going to help us. That woke me up. And it's the horror of not so much that we're being, brutally murdered, but that we were going to be brutally murdered and there was nothing that was going to stop it. So that part sucked. Really quick, another dream ending. Just the ending, because I woke up crying out of the dream where I had managed to save people in an underground setting from a rogue AI type thing. And everyone was happy, and everyone was being helped, and there was survivor guilt, and we were making sure that everyone was being helped. And then at the end, as I was starting to wake, it was like I had realized that I was helping everybody but myself. And the survivor guilt from myself was crushing. And that's when I woke up crying from that. So, thumbs up for dreams, huh? Still though, you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, on the other front, while I was on my walkies to Walmart for my 6-mile nightly walkies, now in the heat, I can't find my shorts, so I'm having to wear my full jeans while I'm walking. Yay! But I've still been doing my 6 miles when I walk to Walmart. Anywhere from 5 to 6 miles, or who knows, maybe even more when I'm walking around downtown. So, but going up there and coming back, I was trying to think about various parts of my creative stuff and where to put things on the timeline that I'm still trying to work together for the project. Because I have been having to recontextualize Utokk completely. And when I say that, I obviously don't mean recontextualizing them completely. But while there's still a douche canoe and all that, I want to change the beginning so they don't come off as evil and vile, because they're still being careful. And while they do make mistakes, they're not going to make that big of one. So the first big thing that happens is going to be a different change. Well, of course it's going to be different change. If it's a change, it's going to be different. Still though, the world becomes aware of Utokk when somebody with a working modern mobile phone from the Crimson Kingdom goes through the southern door into Utokk's domain. And Utokk, who can normally just break the machine's delicate stuff, can't break this connection. And so very, very bad stuff gets seen by the outside world as he's killing the guy. And that pisses Utokk off because they've been doing very, very strict information control. Now the information's out. And so when the scientists from the Crimson Kingdom get a couple caravans together, RV caravan, and they head into the southern exit, and they actually make it there, and then they're all murdered in time by Utokk, it's a different response and different sort of thing when Utokk then speaks to the King in Crimson. They're aware that they would be recorded. They are also aware that they want to manipulate and massage information on them. So they wouldn't come out and be just direct, ha ha ha, I've murdered these people, what are you gonna do about it? Since after all, a big part of the deception of Utokk is that every one of his victims are actually just immigrants coming into his domain. They are living inside of his domain with everybody else, and they're all happy, and he respects their freedoms enough. He will not force them to come here and dance like monkeys for your pleasure. He respects them too much to do that. Maybe you will treat your citizens so cavalierly and just as resources and toys, but no, I respect my people. Really though, they are just eating them in a very, very horrific fashion, because I have said before, and I mean it, if you have the opportunity to end your life processes before Utokk gets their claws into you, do it. Do it. If Utokk is gonna get you, it doesn't matter how painful it is. It is better that you take yourself out of the equation in the story on your own before Utokk gets you. Because of course the thing is, Utokk does not care about us, does not hate us, does not hate us, is very neutral. Utokk does not care about humanity. We are just food. And only a very, very small subset of humanity is food enough of the type and quality that Utokk even bothers to collect, harvest, and then feed upon. Utokk is an existential horror, but also has no plans of colonialization or growth, just survival. Which is one of the reasons that even though the King in Crimson fully suspects that Utokk is just a black hole of hunger, isn't really all that worried about Utokk. In fact, almost treats Utokk as a favored acquaintance. Because they are vile, they are a douche canoe, they do chow on people to the king's suspicions, but even so, it's just survival. Utokk isn't evil. Utokk is just horrific. And as long as you aren't Utokk's type, or if you are, you know to stay away, then you're fine. It's like, bears are dangerous, but as long as you don't go into the bear's territory, the bear is, existentially dangerous. Way over there. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you go there, the bear might eat you. Don't go there. Don't get eaten. So Utokk's vile, but not evil, nor to be treated as something to be exterminated. And of course, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my brain works. I know how my brain works, which is to say, it largely doesn't. Showdown64, thumbs up and thank you. Jack Whack, or Jack Wah K, thumbs up and thank you. Bishop, greatly appreciated. Scott49140, I'm going to work on that and thank you. Confused Owl 29, I'm hopefully going to be doing reactions again soon. Here is hoping, and good to see you in the comments. JAYY, good to see you in the comments, my friend. We have L8_SPXRYZZ, my handsome Cleon. Well, that's cool. Thumbs up and thank you. Loco5, thumbs up and thank you. Oh, for the love of pizza, indeed. Jesse Koskinen, I am very sorry. Heat sucks. Colo Watts, WATTTZ, thumbs up and thank you. We have Corbin's channel, greatly appreciated. Melissa R, always good to see you in the comments. Meh, thank you very much. And hey, the Hamtoro plush is cool. We have Sarge778 returns, CODM, thumbs up and thank you much. And there is Earl2329, greatly appreciated. Favel, good to see you in the comments again. We have Diego Al, I think it is, thumbs up and thank you. Then there is SKLOUTOWN, thumbs up and thank you. Sarah Rem, greatly appreciated. Ben B, good to see you in the comments. Ice Damon, good to see you in the comments as well. And that is it. Actually, that was 21 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up and thank you very much. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and that is appreciated. Well, Hokey Smokes, as stated, I got some stuff that I gotta do. I gotta make phone calls. I gotta, well, survive. These are all good things. Hopefully you can get done the things that you need to get done. And if you can't, survival is important. And speaking of survival, he said with his voice breaking, please do not throw yourself onto the end-of-life corpse pile before your time is up. Be smart with all the various pandemics out there. Use appropriate precautions for your situation and area. And no matter where you are, in the world. Part of that is getting vaxxed and boosted. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.